Welcome to today's episode. We are going to be diving into the 3 simple steps to get those problem monkeys off your back forever. This is a critical game changer for business owners and is guaranteed to reduce the overwhelm, give you back precious time, and become an ongoing habit for success. I'm super excited to bring you this simple approach and cannot wait for you to reap the benefits not only in your business but across your life. Now, additionally, if you enjoy this podcast and make your way through to episode 3 of this initial series, you will hear about a limited podcast launch offer. It's a doozy. So get yourself ready. We're about to dive into today's quick win. Let's do it. Are you ready to work less, stress less, and make more money? I bet you're tired of working really hard, putting in crazy hours, and still not getting the results you know you deserve. How about we swap constant overwhelm for ease and grace and take your business to the next level? Imagine having absolute certainty with every decision you make. There's a way you can achieve it all without losing yourself. I'm Deb Field, quick win coach, business boss and keep it simple CEO. I've been successfully taking small, medium and large businesses to the next level for decades. Want to learn how? Go grab your favourite cuppa. I'm about to share powerful quick wins you can apply today. Let's create business magic with your heart at the centre of everything you do. As women, we do something unique that most men don't. Lucky ducks. We carry burden. You know it, right? I know it. We carry so many things in our head that sometimes it feels like it's going to explode. We cover our business, our problems, dinner, shopping. I mean, who doesn't like shopping? But anyway, finances, housework, sports, kids, pets. The list goes on. Trying to run a business while juggling daily life is tough enough, but managing business problems adds that extra load we just don't need. I can relate. I juggled home, life, a business, while also coaching others in their business. I actually was running myself into the ground. For a long time, I carried the burden of everything to be done. I was so tired, but I had no choice. Well, in my mind anyway. Other than to put in more hours, drop what I thought were less important things, and just get into it. This was totally unsustainable. I was exhausted. Nothing got my best, and I was basically a shadow of a mum, partner, and friend. I was no longer living my best life. I couldn't actually even recognise myself. Then I started hitting the booze to try and slow down and relax. Not a good choice. I felt like it worked, but it really didn't. I finally stopped and looked at what I was doing. I realised I was taking on all the issues in my business and home life and trying to solve them all myself. I was basically firefighting and there was no backburn. That's when I discovered a simple method to sort things out. I applied it to my business with gusto and it took the huge burden off my back, stopped the monkey brain at night time and gave me a newfound sense of being on top of things, finally. It didn't take long to get the balance back into my life. These days I use this simple approach to both business and life. And in fact, as a family, we apply this to everything. Well, when it works, right? Do it. So we've been enjoying this and it's working for us. Let's dive into the approach so you can start to apply it today. Oh, and by the way, I recommend you listen to this podcast first in full. Then when you're ready to apply the method, go back and pause as you go. There are 3 steps I want you to commit to this week. Yes, you heard me. 3 simple steps I want you to commit to this week. Something has to change and these steps will do it. I know it. Once you are proficient in this approach, you can easily translate this to all areas of your life. Here we go. Step 1. I want you to become very conscious on what goes on in your mind. Become the observer. Stay alert as I want you to notice any time a problem jumps into your head and starts demanding attention. This is commonly called the monkey mind or monkey brain. It jumps all over the place. When your mind grabs a problem, stop and follow these simple actions. Grab a post-it note, which you should keep with you at all times, and write down the problem. Nothing more, simply write it down. Then repoint your focus immediately back to what you were doing before the problem surfaced in your mind. Notice how your brain will want to solve the problem then and there. It will want to have an internal dialogue about it and perhaps even take it out to its worst outcome. Resist, resist, resist. Stop the mind. Refocus and repoint that mind. It won't take long before this becomes a habit. This is a game changer. It means time back for you. How easy is that? Monkey brain should start to slow down from here on. Simply follow these steps and rinse and repeat. Notice when a problem emerges, write it on a post-it note, and immediately refocus back to what you were doing. Getting things out of your head and onto paper is a major step. It's surprising how much of an instant relief it is. Your mind knows the problem won't be forgotten. It will trust that, and it will start to lose the grip on carrying the burden. This is a simple but effective trick for the mind. I want you to do the same thing when any problem is brought to you by your team or others. Don't deal with the problem at the time unless it's something very quick like a decision or a direction. Keep doing this simple little process. Of course, if your problem can be fixed in 2 minutes or less, deal with it then and there. But keep a careful eye on how many of these little furphies you get and find out why they are coming to you. For example, do you have interruption boundaries in place? Are you letting people know that for the next half an hour or an hour, you can't be interrupted? This will be discussed on another episode, but just keep an eye on this. Now let's move on to the next step. Step 2. At the end of the day and prior to your glass of wine, yes, that's right, I said it. Well, we don't want to change too many things, right, at once. Anyway, collect your post-it notes together. It's time to define the problems a little further so they can be prioritised and resolved. We don't want you to work on everything at once because this is the main reason for the overwhelm. You're either actually working on everything at once or your mind is working on everything at once. And studies have shown that if you work on more than 3 things at a time, your productivity goes down to 40%. That's right, 40%. That's a huge cost to you and your family. Think about it. You're already time poor and your productivity is only operating at 40%. You can't keep adding things to your plate and expecting results. It's a recipe for disaster. So to set things up in a functional and achievable manner, let's prioritise your business problems. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your post-it notes and you're going to be working on one post-it note at a time. And I want you to add the following details to each of your post-its and keeping it short and sweet. So remember, short and sweet. I want you to add the frequency this problem occurs. Does it happen weekly, often, every day, or is it a one-off? Then I want you to add who the problem impacts. Is it you, your customer, your suppliers, or your team? And lastly, I want you to add the actual impact of the problem. Is it cost, time, or quality? Be as specific as you can, but keep it short. You don't want to be sitting there writing all night. Here's an example. I've got my post-it note, and today I wrote down the website images disappeared. Someone came and told me, Deb, the website's not working, so all the images have disappeared. So I grabbed my post-it note and I wrote down website images disappeared and I popped it aside. That evening, I got my post-it note out and I wrote, it's a one-off problem impacting customers, probably impacting trust, professionalism, and potentially sales. So I added, 11, 12 words to my post-it. Very simple, very short, very sweet. And that's it. You don't jump in to fix anything. You just add the info. You don't even think about writing the email to the web guy. You just stop. See how your mind wants to jump in and solve it? Stick with me here. Don't let those monkeys loose. Complete each post-it note one problem at a time. Be clinical about it. Initially, this will take time because you'll have a lot going on in your head. You're carrying a lot in there, not to mention all of life's issues as well. Honestly, how do we do it? Well, us women do carry those burdens, but it's time to get them off our back. So once you get into the swing of this, things will start to slow down. Remember, if things don't change, things don't change. Now let's go to step 3. So by now, you've got your post-it notes, you've put some info in there about them, so you've sort of defined the problem a little bit better, and now you've got a stack of them. And here's what I want you to do with them. It's time to prioritise the problem so you know what to work on first, and importantly, what you can leave till later. This relieves the overwhelm like you wouldn't believe. Knowing you don't have to fix everything today is a burden lifter. And although your monkey mind will want to come in and play because it loves to get in there and thrash around with these problems, resist, 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 and refocus. This is a skill you will need to strengthen, but it's your lifesaver. So before we start step 3, find yourself a place where you can work on your post-it notes. See, it's a quiet place away from distractions where you can create a working wall or a place for your post-it notes. It might be, like for me, I love to work on a wall in my home or office. Whiteboards are great, but you need a big one. Glass is excellent for post-its and whiteboard markers. So just find somewhere where you can start setting up this wall and let's give it a good old run. I want you to create 3 sections titled To Do, Next, and Doing. Pretty simple. 3 areas: to do, next, and doing. You are now ready to prioritize your problem. Woohoo! Here we go. So first look at all your post-its, and you know now the impact on your customers, you know how often they occur, you know the problems. First choose the 3 most important problems. Looking at them all, consider time it will take and the cost to resolve, the impact of the problem, and very importantly, the alignment to your business goals. Let's face it, some problems are not even relevant to our goals. You might even decide to drop some of them. Now I want you to place the top 3 in your doing section. Hopefully one of these is a simple fix, as it will create momentum as you go. Place the next priorities in the next section. You'll know which ones are next to go. And the rest go into the to-do section for later. Here's the really important part. Walk away. You have your problems prioritized. Do not touch anything and listen, because your mind is going to want to jump on these things and get going. It wants to work out how to fix them. Watch your mind starting to make its way back to overwhelm. Stop it in its tracks. Create the new habit of refocusing where you choose to be. Is it time to go spend time with the family? Is it time to go to the gym? Is it time to sit down and read a book? Is it time to enjoy dinner? Refocus and watch that mind play tricks with you. When you next have time, I want you to schedule the top 3 problems in your calendar and work on them one at a time. Do not move any of your problems from the next section to the doing section until you had finished at least one problem. Never have more than 3 in your doing section. Never. This is a powerful trick used by entrepreneurs, and they get things done, and there's a reason. Because there's tension that builds and it motivates you to get the problem sorted before you can move another one in to work on it. Try it, because you won't believe how powerful this is. You'll be adding to this wall frequently. It becomes a working wall. Try not to jump into an online solution for this process until it becomes a habit. Doing things manually locks it in. There's a funny thing about it. If we jump straight to an app, we don't get that process muscle and we lose that ability. Doing things manually locks in the process. Then once you've got it down, you can move into an online solution, but this is much later. When you do move to an online solution, you'll save any more time. But for now, stick with me and do it manually. Okay, right, you are sorted for the week. To recap, apply this simple method for 1 week and beware of distractions. Step 1, capture your problems on a post-it note and immediately get back to what you were doing. Step 2, when time permits, define your problems further by adding the frequency, who is impacted, and the type and level of impact. Step 3, prioritize your problems and work on only 1 at a time and no more than 3 in your doing section. Fantastic, you're all ready to go. Do it for a week. You've got this. Okay, next episode in this 3-part series, we work through a simple way to resolve every business problem so you can move through them quickly without costing you more time. See you then. Oh, by the way, if you're an active learner like me and enjoy sharing the journey with others, join our private Facebook community. I'll be in there actively moderating, sharing additional information and fostering a community that is safe, supportive and powerful. Think of this as your online mastermind group. Come and be part of it. Go to quickwinsforbusiness.com to join. See you there. I hope you loved today's episode and it provides value to you and your business. There are 2 quick things you can do to pay it forward. 1, share this episode with other women you know and love. And 2, take 30 seconds to leave a review on Apple Podcast. This will enable more women in business to receive this valuable information. Let's share the love. Finally, go to quickwinsforbusiness.com, get your free business checklist and join our private Facebook community where I'll be sharing additional quick win tools. Let's work together. Join me here next week with another exciting episode sharing more quick wins for your business. Have a great day.